Hi, in today's lessons, I'm going to teach you how to reconcile your bank accounts in QuickBooks. Again, I am using QuickBooks 2011 version. The Accountant's Edition, you may have something such as the Pro or the Premier or previous year's version. Either way, it's the same thing. You reconcile the same way. There are two different ways that you can get to the reconciliation. One which is using the toolbar, going to Banking, scrolling down to Reconcile. And the other way is from the Home Quick Start menu, as you see here. You go to the banking section and hit Reconcile. The little window will pop up. The first thing you're going to do is select which account that you're going to reconcile. You may have 3 or 4 different bank accounts or savings accounts. For our sake, we're going to go ahead and select the checking account. Now the statement date. In here, you're going to want to enter in the date that the statement ends. So for instance, it might be December 31st, or it might be February 27th or 28th. Whatever shows on your statement as a statement ending date is what you're going to want to put here. The beginning balance should carry over from your last reconciliation. If you've never reconciled your account before, this is going to show as a $0 amount. Sometimes the beginning balance may be different than what you actually did on your last reconciliation, just for the simple fact that you may have made some changes in that bank account that month or the month prior, and it just altered the balance a little bit. But at the end of the reconciliation, the ending balance should be the same, and it should balance itself out. If not, you have to go throughout your statements and just see where you're missing some information. Now, in the ending balance, go ahead and type in where your ending balance is. Showing on your statement, you will see an ending balance amount. Usually it's on the first page. And for our sake, we're going to put our ending balance as $110,379.86. Now, going down to the next tab, you have service charges. This is going to be where you would enter any bank fees, statement fees, any extra fees that the bank charges you for processing your statement or for having the bank account. You're going to want to select what account you want that to go to. Normally it goes to bank charges or bank service fees or bank fees, however you have it listed in your chart of accounts. And you're going to want to put the date that those fees were charged. Now, in this column, you're going to want to put the interest earned. Some people do have checking accounts that earn them interest on a monthly basis, depending on the balance that they carry. This is where you're going to put the interest earned. Again, put the date in which you earn that interest and the account in which you want that interest to fall in. Most people have an interest income account. You may have something different. Whatever account you have set up for your interest that comes in, that's where you want to code that interest earned monies into. Then hit continue. Now, you will notice that there's lots of transactions in here, and sometimes it can get overwhelming. So the secret to the reconciliation is basically go in here and click this little checkbox. This little checkbox will hide any transactions that happened after your statement ending cutoff date. As you see, again, it lowers everything to be before or after your statement cutoff date. So you could try to do it the easy way, and you can select Mark All, and this might balance you. It may not balance you. For our sake, it does balance us. All of our transactions are in there. All of our deposits are in there. Everything is balanced and good to go. However, for those of you who aren't sure if every transaction is accounted for, go through your statement line by line by line and go through and say, okay, on 12/10 or whatever date you have, I deposited this amount of money and I see this deposit and I see this deposit. And then you're going to go into your transactions and you're going to go line by line and check the things that you do see on your statement. There may be some items that are on your statement that do not show up within QuickBooks, and you just have to do a transaction entry within your checkbook. If there are items that are in QuickBooks, but maybe not on your statement, those items are either items that were erroneously entered into QuickBooks, or if they're checks, they just haven't cleared your bank account yet. No need to worry. Normally, I would think about what transactions are pending or what transactions haven't cleared if they're more than, let's say, 60 days old. because if there's a check out there for 60 days, that either means the person did not get it or it never was sent out. Again, you're just going to go through and mark out each and every single item. And you want this box down here to show you that you have a difference of 0, which means that you balance. Now, let me just show you some other avenues here. If you have a transaction that you want to know what it is. So let's just take, for instance, Shan Hamby. What is this? You would hit Go To. It would immediately take you to that transaction within QuickBooks. So you can view it just to make sure it's a good transaction, everything's entered correctly, or maybe it just answers some questions that you have. If you want to hit Match, basically what Match is if you download your bank activity from your banking account into QuickBooks, you would hit Match. Then it would automatically go through and match those transactions for you. And then just tell you which ones are not matched. Then you would have to go back and forth from your statement to QuickBooks to figure out which ones are indeed either erroneous or haven't cleared yet. But for this sake, it's a simple reconciliation. So again, we're going to hit Mark All, make sure our balance is 0, and it is. At this point, if for any reason this isn't 0 and you notice, hey, I accidentally entered my ending balance incorrectly, you can hit Modify, go back to the first window, and modify your ending balance. Okay. Then once you're done and you've made sure that everything balances, you're going to hit Reconcile Now. This is going to basically reconcile your checkbook within QuickBooks. Now you're going to have two reports. The summary is just a basic report that just shows you this is how many debits you had, this is how many credits you have. A detail is a line by line by line transactional history in your bank statement to make sure that you caught everything. Normally I like to print both, but we're going to show you what the reports look like. So this would be your summary. As you can see, this is how many checks were taken out of the account, this is how many deposits were made into the account, and this is what the clearing balance is, which is basically what your ending balance is. Okay, and then you also have register balance as of 11/30 or whatever your closing date is. So this is basically going to tell you what items you have within QuickBooks that are checks or deposits that have not yet been entered on your checking statement, which basically means they're new transactions. They will be on your next statement or the statement after that. Now the detail statement, as I said, is a line by line of the activity that took place that month. And when you click into your checking account, the way that you can tell that this has been reconciled is you go in through your months, and as you will see that this is the November month, and you will notice that over here in this column, they're all check marks. That means that all these transactions have cleared the bank, they're in balance, and they've been accounted for. As you see down here, these are items that have not been check marked, and that means that these items have not cleared the bank, have not been reconciled. And I hope that lesson helped you. And that's the end of the lesson. Thank you.